Hello everyone, I am Mike Marin, and I am here to teach you some things I know about the Great Pyramid of Giza. Before I begin the video, can you please smash and subscribe to my channel and hit me with a like on this video? That would be much appreciated. I am here to teach you everything I know about the Great Pyramid of Giza. Alright, let's go. Here is the background information on the Great Pyramid of Giza. Just take it all in and listen to everything because there's a lot of information. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the largest Egyptian pyramid and tomb of 4th dynasty pharaoh Khufu. It is the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, which is wild to think about, and it is the only one to remain largely intact. There are 3 known chambers inside the Great Pyramid. The lowest chamber was cut into the bedrock upon which the pyramid was built, but it always remained unfinished. This is the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber within the pyramid structure. Around the Great Pyramid, there is a funerary complex around that consisted of 2 mortuary temples connected by a causeway. These would be tombs of family and friends of Khufu. There is also 3 small pyramids that were built for Khufu's wives. Now we're going to talk about the Pharaoh Khufu, who built the Great Pyramid of Giza. During the 20th century, the cemeteries next to the pyramid were excavated. His family members and high officials were buried there. During Khufu's reign, cemeteries were increasing, but after his time, they were used less frequently. Khufu's nephew was credited with the design and building of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Excuse me if I pronounce this wrong. Himunu was Khufu's vizier, which was the most important job. And Himenu was the final architect of the building. He was responsible for the labor, transportation, materials, payments, etc. He was in charge of it all. So Khufu came to the throne probably during his 20s and at once began work on his pyramid. The entire project took about 23 years to complete, during which time, 2.3 million building blocks were used, weighing an average 2.5 tons each. His nephew Himenu was in charge of it all. The scale of this monument stands as a testament to his skills in commanding the material and human resources of his country. Now, let's get into the construction of the pyramid. There's always a lot of conspiracies on how these were built, but I'm here to tell you the facts of what we know today. The pyramid contains an estimated 2.3 million blocks, some of which are upward of 50 tons. Like the pyramids built by his predecessor, Snefru, and those that followed on that Giza plateau, Khufu's pyramid is constructed of inner, rough, locally quarried coarse stones, which is all that we see today. And it is angled outer casting blocks laid in even horizontal courses with spaces filled with gypsum plaster. These fine outer casting stones, which have long since been removed, were laid with great precision. These blocks of white Tura limestone would have given the pyramid a smooth surface and been quite bright and reflective. At the very top of the pyramid would have sat a capstone known as a pyramidion that may have been covered in gold. This dazzling point, shining in the intense sunlight, would have been visible for a very great distance. It is precisely the skill and technology required to create the desired shape which presents the problem to anyone trying to understand how the Great Pyramid was built. Modern day theories continue to fall back on the concept of ramps which were raised around the foundation of the pyramid and grew higher as the structure grew taller. The ramp theory, still debated, maintains that once the foundation was firm, these ramps could be easily risen around the structure as it was built and provided that means for hauling and positioning tons of stones in precise order. Which is crazy to think about. These people working on the pyramids were able to move these blocks that are over up to 50 tons just with the ropes and ramps. Over the past 2 decades, researchers have made a number of discoveries related to the pyramids, including a town built near the pyramid of Menkaure, a study showing how water can make blocks easier to move, and a paper was found by the Red Sea. These have allowed researchers to gain a better understanding of how the Giza pyramids were built. The new finds add to older knowledge gained over the past 2 centuries. Researchers have noted that the Egyptians had the ability to align structures to true north very precisely, something that may have helped in planning the pyramids. Glenn Dash, an engineer who studies the pyramids of Giza as part of the Ancient Egypt Research Associates, noted that Khufu's pyramid is aligned to true north with 1/10 of a degree, which is absolutely crazy with how precise that these pyramids were built. One wrong step and the whole thing would not have been aligned perfectly. This is something that can almost not be explained today with the research and everything they had back then.
For the interior of the Great Pyramid, the interior chambers and passageways of Khufu's pyramid are unique and include a number of features. There is an unfinished subterranean chamber whose function is still unknown to this day. There are a number of air shafts that radiate out from the upper chambers. These have been explored by small robots by researchers. When entering the pyramid, one has to crawl up a crammed ascending chamber that opens suddenly into the Grand Gallery. The Grand Gallery stands at 26 feet tall and leads up to the King's Chamber, which is constructed entirely from red granite. Above the King's Chamber are 5 stress-relieving chambers of massive granite blocks, topped with slabs forming a pent roof to distribute the weight of the mountain of masonry above it. The King's sarcophagus, also carved from red granite, sits empty at the exact central axis of the pyramid. This burial chamber was sealed with a series of massive granite blocks and the entrance to the shaft filled with limestone in an effort to obscure the opening. Egypt's pharaohs expected to become gods in the afterlife. To prepare for the next world, they erected temples to the gods and massive pyramid tombs for themselves, filled with all the things that each ruler would need to guide and sustain himself to the next world. Giza allows us to explore a long vanished world. Tomb art includes depictions of ancient farmers working their fields and tending livestock, fishing and carpentry, and etc. Older record preserved paintings or inscriptions that have since faded away capture artifacts that have been lost or destroyed and unlock tombs not accessible to the public.
I hope you guys learned a lot from listening to this talk about the Great Pyramid of Giza in the short amount of time we had. We learned a lot of information, and I hope you took it all in and learned something. Now, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit me with a like, and follow me for the next time we have another conversation. I want to thank you uh, for taking your time to teach me in this course as well. I appreciate everything you did for me. Have a good summer.